Bitcoin Truth Seekers. It is Thursday, February 16th. It's 2:23, or I should say 2023. It's 11:29 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. So one more time for that. Welcome home, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. It is Thursday, February 19th. It is 11:29 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. So market's looking pretty good. You might have noticed traditional market not happening quite as much. Some interesting news. Let's rock through this real quick. All right. BitcoinDailyView.com. Got more for you there. And as always, I'll keep mentioning it for a little while. Eventually, I'll get over it. But link there on the top of the site. Get yourself and your loved ones a gas mask. These are great. I have one. I forgot to grab it. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll actually do the show for a minute in my gas mask because really, around the country, crazy things happening. And you want to have a gas mask because, well, there you go. There's your prepper PSA for the day. All right, looking at FinViz, Dow, NASDAQ, S&P 500 opened with, well, as you can see here, if you're looking at the screen, a slight uptick today, but they're kind of nowhere. They're all in the red at the very, very moment. That's just kind of how it goes. If we look at the S&P 500, it's pretty much red, some green here and there, really just not a super happening day in the market at all. So no one's quite gone green as far as the big indexes yet. Let's see how it goes. The day's still a little young. All right, looking at the big stuff here, dollar strength index here in the top in the middle. It continues to kind of break out of its downwards channel. Indecisive doji today. We will see how it goes. Oil in red today. S&P 500 in the green today. Looks like it definitely may make a bounce off the bottom of that channel that we've been seeing here recently. Hopefully it doesn't break all the way out and have to bounce off the 200 moving average, but we'll see. S&P 500 really, really, really hardcore challenging that 314 moving average. Let's see if it can break out. It's really kind of a moment of truth right now for it. Get rid of this little switch here. But basically, been riding that 314 moving average on daily, can't get above it, trying to get into the end here. It's at the bottom of the channel that it's had going up. It is above the 200 moving average. That's really pretty darn nice, but we shall see. S&P 500 make or break time. All about, are you a pessimist? Are you an optimist? That kind of depends on what your, on your worldview, I guess. And I think we're going to break above. If we do, that's great. As you can see here on the daily chart, S&P 500 downwards channel for quite a while, but it has broken up. It has broken out of that downwards channel above the 200 moving average. Now it's challenging that 314. I think it's absolutely possible that it may actually end up being successful. And if it does, well, S&P 500 and Bitcoin tend to be almost mirror charts of each other. So if you go down to the bottom right-hand corner here, guess what? The charts look very similar, except for Bitcoin has broken above its 314 moving average on the daily chart. This is a big deal. So it's been above the 200 for a while. Yeah, rocking. Now it's above the 314. Strong break yesterday. It's looking wonderful. So it's rather interesting. Usually, I would expect Bitcoin to almost need the S&P 500's permission. Like I would expect Bitcoin to follow the S&P 500. For this move. But Bitcoin's setting the stage. And ultimately, when you think about it, it's a lot less money, that we're talking about here when it comes to Bitcoin breaking that 314 moving average. So maybe Bitcoin's leading the way on this 200 moving average bounce. Well, I tell you what, if Bitcoin's already above it, and then boom, the S&P 500 breaks it, Lambo time. All right. Finally, after a good number of negative days, gold in the green today. We'll see how it goes. Silver in the green today. We'll see how it goes. Silver is below that 314 moving average, where gold is not. But silver kind of does tend to be the it has much more volatility, I would say, as far as in percent changes than gold does. So anyway, silver. Let's see if we can break above that 314 moving average this week. Now, looking at Bitcoin trading volume explicitly, today it's 15 billion. So 15 billion Bitcoin trading volume today on the big exchanges. That's wonderful. 15 billion, that's plenty. That's a lot. People are playing the game today. Looking at my little neat aggregate chart here, I like it. Definitely this morning when Bitcoin took off, it wrecked a good deal of shorts. I'm seeing beautiful trading volume. I'm seeing big buys, big sells. I'm sure that the big money is scalping today with leverage over on Bybit and stuff like that. Look at that $5.4 million sell, just like boom, lots of liquidations. Anyway, this morning, when Bitcoin made that move, shorts definitely did get wrecked. And you know what I always say? I love the smell of wrecked shorts. Smells like victory. I mean, nothing wrong with shorting, but also nothing wrong with me finding a little bit of satisfaction in watching those $1 million boom liquidations because, hey, believe in something good for a change. Don't short your way through life. It's too beautiful. Anyway, with that said, looking at the top cryptocurrency exchanges, top 20 here, all well in the green. I like what I'm seeing. Binance up 98% last 24 hours. Coinbase exchange up 125 billion last 24 hours. That's wonderful. And also kind of unique that Coinbase is usually not a greater volume than, I'm sorry, that's way off there. Binance up 98% last 24 hours. Coinbase up 125% last 24 hours. That's not the volume itself. So Binance 30 billion. Binance is $30 billion in volume. Pretty darn good. Coinbase almost breaking 3 billion when we really have a nice bullish market. And Coinbase starts, breaking 3 billion on the daily, or I should say on the 24-hour volume. That's going to be pretty darn groovy. So anyway, 2.8 billion if we round it up, that's looking hot. When we start breaking that $3 billion mark, that means grandma's definitely moving her AOL stock to Bitcoin. Anyway, so Kraken looking great. KuCoin, all these exchanges way up. Gemini up 110%. Gate.io 115% up. Woo! I mean, people are getting in the game. Binance US 70% up. So wonderful. Coinbase, I'm sorry. Crypto.com, not a bad exchange. US users can't use it, I don't believe, but up 90%. It's pretty darn nice. So anyway, big, beautiful volume. And then the derivatives are off the charts. 80 billion in our derivatives on Binance, up 98%. People are longing the living bejesus out of this market, longing and shorting. I mean, boom, and you can go over and you can see the liquidations. Anyway, say if you're longing and shorting with leverage, do be careful because too many wins or too many losses in a row can start getting you a little bit mentally imbalanced. So careful with the leverage, guys, and be careful with your mental health. Don't scalp too hard. You'll go blind. So as I did, stop when you need glasses. Anyway, with that said, Bitcoin up to it's coming in at 24,878. I have heard that it's actually broken 25,000. I believe that would make sense here and there. So 24,878. Top 100, all of them are looking pretty darn groovy. Polygon, Mr. Matic up 14%. Access Protocol, whatever that is, I have no idea. Access Protocol, ACS, I've heard of it though. I recognize the symbols, not always what they're actually called. Let's check out ACS while we're here. Good Lord, Floki, is that 81%? Floki, oh, that's a doggy coin, Floki. Interesting. Okay, nothing else looks. Filecoin's neat, near. Anyway, it's nice to see these numbers. So definitely, we are rocking it. Good. I love it. AR Weave, AR up 8.7. Anyway, guys, this is just wonderful. It's nice. It's nice to see the top 100 doing so incredibly well. I hope you were in some of these and you made some money. I actually today dumped an old bag of Cardano that finally kind of got back in the green, made me a few dollars, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta pay my utilities. So thank you, Cardano, and thank you, this pump, for getting me back in the green and paying my bills. Anyway, so longs for Bitcoin and shorts. Okay, longs 46%, shorts 53%. These guys on Binance, where I tend to look and measure this, I'm telling you, they tend to know what's up for the most volume is. I would gather this data off Bybit, especially if I could find a way to get it. If you know how I can see longs and shorts easily on Bybit, let me know, because I would actually mention that every day. But right now, longs 46%, shorts 30. Longs 46%, shorts 53% on Binance for Bitcoin. That's definitely, just take note of that, because that's where the volume is. I think that people longing and shorting there. Sure, there's people who have no idea, but mostly I think when you see this number trend, when you get a nice percent difference, you can kind of count on the market very well may go that way. I put a little bit of weight to this, so be careful. We might have a retrace coming, or even just future sideways. We may have gone as far as we're going to go. And also, you never know what these guys are actually looking for. When they're all leveraged out, like 1/4% can make them some serious, Lambo money. So just saying. Anyway, also, no, okay. I just check a message there. Okay, so for Ethereum, 47% long, 52% short. So, we're starting to get some, the leverage people overall as a whole tend to have a really good grab on the way things are going. So doesn't mean we're going to see some massive retrace, but I think worst case is a little bit of a retrace or just sideways. But just be careful longing with leverage right now, or if you're layering in, or if you're already in the green, just realize we might be topping out. One of the great characters over there, Blockchain Education. Go to bitcoinreview.com, check that out. Look down, you'll see an affiliate link for them. Great team. Come join the team. Come in for the big win in 2023. One of the great guys over there did this chart here. He did it better than I could. And he makes the great statement, looking at the weekly chart here. Excuse me. Look at the weekly chart here. We have broken above. It's basically the idea is we're kind of working on getting a higher high. So if you think about it, this is a weekly chart. Here's a low. Here's a higher low. If you want to really be, optimistic, here's a higher low once again. But now, if you go here, you kind of have here's a low, here's a lower high, here's a lower high. Lower high goes down, lower high. Weekly, kind of interesting. But do note we are hitting the body of the current week has actually made it over the top of the body of the current of a previous week of a high. And also our wick has hit the top of that wick. So if you kind of look at this chart, it's sort of just kind of, sorry about that. It kind of speaks for itself. I think I lost it. Where'd it go? Anyway, it kind of speaks for itself. We've wicked to wick. Our body's gotten higher than the previous body. This is going back to like August, a week in August. Anyway, weekly chart, very, very powerful. We might actually be getting somewhere. So let's look at this. 4-hour chart, okay, for Bitcoin. What I like about what I'm seeing here is this. Looking at this 4-hour chart, let's go like this. Let's give it some stuff. Here we go. So as I mentioned before, here on the weekly chart, I think this does kind of play out. Here was some sideways action. We kind of pumped, went sideways. Here we go. We pumped. We went sideways. Oh, sorry about that. Wrong thing. We pumped here. We went sideways. Gave all the, in my opinion, these ranges here where you've got the top and bottom of this range. I'm not going to draw it now. It would just take too long, but I oftentimes put a red box and a green box at the top and bottom of these. But you can kind of see where I just personally believe you get these steps up. That's where, what happens. I believe personally that's where you've got a lot of over-the-counter buys. That's where you've got, whales buying, and there were whales buying. Of course, they're selling too, but they don't want to affect the market too much. They want to play their games without making the market move. So I think these are, in my opinion, this is just basically where whales are buying, and you can see that. I'll pull the chart up later. I don't have it here. I don't want to look for it. Take too long, but we can see there's a page that shows like the holdings of the biggest players, like by biggest to lowest. And you can kind of like screenshot that like once a week, and you can kind of see where, yeah, as a matter of fact, the whales are increasing their positions. You've always got crazy sailor buying something. So this is where they're buying, and they don't want to affect the market. They don't want it to pump or dump. So they run it sideways for a while. Okay, so here's the thing. And this one really worked out perfectly here on the 4-hour chart. You can just see like if they were just kind of buying and selling. I hope you can see this. Let me make this part here a little bigger. Here's where on the 4-hour chart you can see, I mean, the whales could just simply be buying and selling these Keltner bands. It's just wonderful. And when you're leveraged out, you're making money. So if you're, there's people doing that too. But anyway, I think for the most part, the big news here is you got people making money up and down, and you got big money buying without affecting the market. That's why I think we have these perfect pumps and these sideways runs. That's my opinion. And let's look here today. It's the 4-hour chart. We definitely, we dumped. We ran this 200 moving average up on the 4-hour chart, and then eventually, bam, broke above it, went way above this top red Keltner band. So be careful. You're never going to stay above or below those very long unless it's like, Armageddon time. And anyway, here we go. We're pumping once again. This is just my little take on it. For what it's worth, here's Craig Simpson's, half-assed visionary TA, based on, bias and and hope, whatever is this is but it is better than being based on like bitterness and vindictiveness and spite for the world, so it's my TA is based on optimism and hope, in a better future for humanity, and may we all be able to pay our bills and get that fancy Lambo that we wanted, or Lada, whatever you might like, Range Rover, Jeep Cherokee is nice. Anyway, so we ran sideways from the 4-hour chart for a while. Whales made money, bought. Ran sideways here for a while. Whales been buying, didn't want to affect the market. We dumped. All right, that's fine. Bam, we just pumped again. And what happened? I honestly think if you look at this pattern here, I think that's what's going to play out. We will just for a while. Where's my little thing here? I think we'll do that. I think we'll just be like buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, make money, make money, make money. And eventually, well, boom, we'll do it again. And here's something I wanted to mention. If you look at it like this, let's just clear things up real quick. Get all that hoopla. Check this out. I'd spoken about this, so I just want to toot my own horn here, or not toot my horn, but you know what I'm saying. I just want to mention this. I think if we take this guy here, okay, gonna make that. Gonna make another one here. There we go. Boom. That initial. I guess you can go to the high if you want. Let's do like that. The high before we started going sideways from where we pumped, right? Let's just take those. So we started pumping. Let's say, when did we really make that turnaround? Oh, let's just say right about here. We made the turnaround here or here. I don't know. Let's put it on the 200 for fun. Let's put it there. Let's put this on a 200. Bam. Yeah, on this one out so you can see it. Look at that. So anyway, sorry, it's not exactly apparent. But anyway, as you can see, we pretty much did it again. If you wanted to go down here, I guess you could say we started, pumping here. But yeah, I think right about here with that 200 moving average break. Okay, there you go. You can kind of see what happened there. And actually, really, this one's not quite so accurate. Let me actually nix that real quick and do this one more time. This actually, well, there's steps here, one sideways. So really, yeah, start it there, go to your high, move that over here. Let's do it one more time. Bonk, bonk here. And then I guess you could even, like, if you want it, you could go, let's go over there. And so you can kind of see we're about where we would expect to pump to, I could maybe move these down a little bit, down maybe like to here, and say we started pumping here. That works too. One way or the other, there we go. And what happens? We pump, go sideways here, we pump, retrace a little bit, went sideways. So really, if we just follow the, if we look at it the way it goes here, let's look at these last two moves. Well, no, I'm not going to time those out. But yeah, let me do it real quick. I don't want to get everybody bored here. But date range, this pump here was like 7 days. Then let me move it up again. This pump here, we pumped, kind of went sideways. Then we kind of lost it. But let's just say we went to here, right? That was like 25 days, right? So, 7 days, 25 days. So let's just say we, do it again. Let's say we pump for, there's like, 7 days would be like February 25th, 24th, 20 days would be like, not say 25 days, say 20 days, take us out to like 9th of March. So really, if this pattern continues, it would make sense. So anyway, I know some people are just waiting for the, rug pull to come one day or whatever. I don't know. I just think that this pattern here makes sense. Bitcoin's leading the way. It broke the 314 moving average on the daily before the S&P 500, and now where Bitcoin is positioned, if it actually led the way, and now the S&P 500 gets breaks out 314, dude, you know what I'm saying? That's going to be righteous. And also, if the Bitcoin stays above that 314 moving average on the daily, and the S&P 500 does falter and not, and Bitcoin holds it, that's going to be interesting. So we're living in interesting times. All right, so let's look at the weekly chart here. Once again, it was done better by the guy over at Blockchain Education, but I'll try to clean this up. Actually, let me go here. Look at the weekly, 1 week, and as you can see, I mean, there we go. The nice thing here on the weekly is something a big deal is on the weekly 200 moving average. We have just truly challenged it, and you could say crossed it. We've at least wicked above it. I mean, look at that. Bam. 200 weekly average crossed. Boom. That's massive. And of course, as was noted very elegantly by the by guy over Black Education, we definitely are really close to what we really have. I think when it comes down to, I'm going to call that a higher high. Especially if this body can close above the wick of this week here, the week of the beginning of August, first week of August. So that's wonderful, because you can kind of see here where you've got, like, here's your low, here's a lower high, and of course, here's your here's a high, here's your higher high. You always say higher high there. So we're starting to get a bit of an upwards trend going. Then you start getting really dreamy, where these are weeks, but I mean, could you kind of start doing something like, seeing kind of a chart pattern starting there, especially with the 200 moving average break? That is massive. So we're looking good. I mean, life is beautiful. This is wonderful. Looking at the daily, you can kind of see this upwards channel beginning. I like that. Daily broke the 200, no problem. Beat on it for a while. Now it just broke the 314. It's just a glorious thing to see. I like what I'm seeing. Can I get a weekly chart here with all my goodies? Where is that at? There we go. And so weekly chart, looking at the MACD. MACD is still positive on the weekly chart. Let's go to a day. How's that look? Notice how they had the oh my gosh, this is, whew, I need to take a cold shower after this. Daily chart, what moving average we're looking at there? Yeah, 21 EMA. Okay, it's broken way above it. But check this out. With this massive pump we've had today, this channel really for the daily really starts looking pretty legit to me. I like what I'm seeing there. And check this out. Look what happened. Daily MACD crossed towards the positive. The tangent turned very positive yesterday, and now we have a daily MACD break on the positive. Whoa, that's amazing. What little news do we have here? Building permits. But who cares? Headlines for why Bitcoin. Anyway, nothing too big there. Anyway, guys, this is massive. That's a big deal. I mean, wow, this is wonderful. I love what I'm seeing. I have seen some really fun gymnastics done with the 4-hour chart. I probably won't do them, or could I do them? We dump that. Dump the drawing. Yeah, I mean, people have been mentioning this that I thought was interesting. If I do a trend line here, horizontal ray, you can see here, like, bonk, we broke that. How about here? Bonk. Oops, other one. Here we go. This high here, bonk, broke that, and now what's happening here? This is a 4-hour chart. What are we doing now? Bonk, we're just breaking that previous high too. So that's pretty darn groovy, isn't it? And then if we start looking at things like in this manner, you've got, like, a low, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. Boom. We're starting to do some groovy things. And here you can call this kind of a low, higher low. All these are higher lows. I am another higher. I'm sorry, higher high. Yeah, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high right here. So see, this is getting to be an interesting chart. Now, what's going to be next if we pull that in? Woo! What would be that next top to get to 31,600 basically, and we're in a whole new ball game, and then we just keep on cruising up, you know. And anyway, I'm not going to repeat all the cool chart patterns that I've seen recently, but there's some great stuff. There's some great energy here. I like what I'm seeing. So anyway, Bitcoin looking great. If we go to a very, very short time frame here, the 45-minute chart, you know, we have been pumping pretty darn hard. Are we going to roll over yet? Well, it's hard to tell. You know, we'll see what happens. The directional index is beginning to weaken right there. You can see that directional index starting to chill. Squeeze indicator starting to chill here on the 45-minute chart. A lot of volume coming in recently, pumping it up again. Let's go to a 4-hour chart. How does it look? You know, 4-hour chart, definitely, this is a beautiful 200 moving average, you know, break above. 4-hour chart says it's not necessarily showing the same downwards pressure. You know, here the directional index is still definitely in the green. I'm sorry, the squeeze indicator is in the green, directional index is in the green, ADX is in the right spot. Nice volume spikes coming in. It is kind of, it's not even really that far from its 8 moving average right there. So we're above the ATR cave. One thing I would just note here is, you know, you do have the short starting to pile up on Binance, and that does make sense. Just note this, that, you know, let me get rid of this part here. One sec, gotta let the dog in. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, you can get up there. So anyway, we are way above the Keltner band, and like I say, but looking at that though, when we hear on the 4-hour chart, you can really kind of see it very clearly. Something that has, you know, been a trend is you break that Keltner, and then eventually you go sideways. Then you run up again, you know, break above that Keltner band, then you run sideways. And what have we just done again? You know, we ran up, broke the Keltner, and now we're probably going to go sideways again. It would just fit a stepping pattern, and you can see kind of like mini versions of it down here. You can see one there, and you can see one there. So anyway, guys, on the 4-hour chart, we may have more upwards energons going on because we got, you know, volume coming in. Directional index is not stressed out yet down here. ADX is looking good. Squeeze indicator is looking good. We may keep going. I think really worst case is maybe we're going to go sideways now, range sideways. But I tell you what, though, those daily MACDs on the actually also looking at the MACD on the I got a MACD right here. There we go. Looking at the MACD on the, how about the 3-day chart? Yeah, daily MACD on the 3-day chart's looking good. That is just profound. I love what I'm seeing here. Let's look at the this MACD, stochastic, and RSI. So the, yeah, RSI is kind of, you know, pegged out a little bit there in the 3-day chart. These don't matter so much. I'm not going to even bother with this really. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty wild. The RSI, you know, it's been more picked out before. It kind of recovered a little bit here on the daily. Now it's going back up. Stochastic is looking good. Daily MACD cross positive. I mean, we're above the 200 moving, I mean, the 314 moving average now. You can see these little steps that I was mentioning. You can kind of see where it made one, that made another, dumped a little bit. Now, is it, you know, looking at other time frames, you can see it's a really good case for this to be made. And maybe it's time just to go sideways for a while. And if we stay sideways with like a daily, you know, daily MACD being positive, daily being above the 200 and the 314 moving average, I mean, that's just massive. Daily chart, you know, above the 200, above the 314 moving average. I mean, that is just grooving stuff here. Looking at the daily with my other indicators here, I mean, the squeeze indicator is even looking kind of, you know, uniquely positive. If we look right here, sure, we've been kind of trailing off a little bit, but now we're starting a little bit of a trend up. You know, the directional index was trending down, but now it's starting to trend up. You know what I mean? Whew. It's just wonderful. So really, on the daily, we're not stressed out at the top of the ATR cave. We're not looking too bad. Let's look at the ATR ribbons we got here real quick. We're above the ATR, you know. I'm saying we're above the Keltner band. So, but we've done that before, and didn't necessarily. Well, let's just see what happens, guys. Sorry, I'm kind of bantering, but this is a great looking chart. Let's see what happens. I mean, it's all prediction. You know, we're just trying to take our best guess at kind of a linear curve, like what's going to happen. We're always taking our best guess, but it wouldn't surprise me if we just cruise sideways now, and that'll be a new sideways. And we see what happens. Do we break from that down or up? You know, if we keep following the trend, then up. And right now, looking at 314 moving average broken on the daily. The weekly MACD is great. 3-day MACD, daily MACD just went positive. I mean, I like what I'm seeing. So Bitcoin, pretty darn strong. Anyway, I know I've babbled for like God knows how long, what, 40 minutes or something. Anyway, looking at Pawn versus USDT, so many alts are doing so good. There's just no point in even getting into it. A lot of them are doing great. I would just mention, you know, a lot of them are kind of extended. Are they going to continue going up or what? You know, that's a lot of pump here for Pawn versus USDT here on the 45-minute chart. You can look at like a 4-hour chart here, and you can see beautiful 200 moving average bounce, went below it, made a bounce, still moving up, pushing the top of the ATR cave. But the indicators on the 4-hour chart are only just getting going. Got volume coming in, directional X is in the right place, ADX is in the right spot, squeeze indicators in the right spot. This thing could definitely keep going. Are we really maxed out on the Keltners? Let's see. A little bit, but things are just, you know, really pushing past that these days with the incredible, you know, movement that we've got going on. Bit versus USDT, that one's probably getting maxed out, but it might just be getting started. Look at that squeeze indicator showing just getting started. Directional X is showing just getting started. Not a lot of volume coming in, but so it's kind of why you just kind of see it moving sideways. What else do we got here? REN versus USDT moving up, looking great. So anyway, trade, you know, trade how you trade. I don't really want to go into alts too much because really the news is kind of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's looking great. But if you do look at alts against like Bitcoin right now, boom, CFX versus BTC exploded here on the 4-hour chart. You can see it's beginning to retrace. This here, these indicators are just unreal. Massive volume came in and pushed that thing. I would say this is a great one right now to you can go back here if you want, but I think I'm going to play it right here. Let's look at a fib sequence. Might get a 382 bounce. That's where the 8 moving average is, or maybe even a .5 or something like that. So this is where I'm going to start watching. I'll also go back here and kind of see how that looks. You can try there. This is a good time to start watching fibs for things that are going to retrace. Like this is wonderful. Our ACH versus Bitcoin forward chart, that beautiful move up, bam, it's retracing. So now really it's kind of short time. You know, if you start seeing things like this, look at that Magic versus BTC. Beautiful move up. This thing is continuing like this. I was watching it earlier. I'm gonna move this channel. I can leave it like that if you want. I'm gonna leave the channel. Yeah, I'm gonna do like that. I'm gonna say like, you know what? This thing is kind of gone up. It's moved back into its channel. That's very, very powerful. It's above the Keltner band, just getting started. Watch for a slight retrace in this one with continued move up. Magic versus BTC. That is looking hot. Anyway, guys, there's just too much good stuff going on right now. We're kind of hitting the top. Maybe we're going to begin to see some retraces here and there. Like I say, if we look at Bitcoin on a 45-minute chart for immediate price action, you really are kind of seeing that maybe, darn it, we're beginning to roll over. But we thought we were going to roll over, and then we didn't. Now we're moving up again. So like we'll see how it goes. How's that 15-minute chart looking? 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart still well above the 200 moving average, moving up again, looking good, just getting running. Woo! It's a darn good day in the market, guys. You know, find yourself some Bitcoin or some alts, find something to get hooked onto and make some money. You know, if you miss this big run up, there'll be retraces soon. And if you're only a longer, there'll be retraces to short. And if you're just a long person, it's going to be get those subsequences done and watch for things to bounce at logical times. Kind of like Magic here, Magic versus BTC. You know, if that was the top, watch this guy. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if it came down and bounced off the .5 or something like that, because that's right above the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. Anyway, there's just way too many chart coins just doing well, way too good to chart them all. But you know what? There was ACS versus USDT was looking pretty good. I thought on KuCoin, you can play it on KuCoin. Good. Come on. KuCoin, ACS versus USDT. Oh, we saw a huge move. Must just been put on the exchange. AC, I thought it was ACS. Anyway, let's look at Floki versus USDT. Okay, you can play it on Gate.io. I think I saw Bybit too. Did I see Bybit? Yeah, Bybit. Oh, Binance has got it. Well, they're contracts though. So you can play that one. Anyway, Floki exploded. It's a 1 hour chart. Oh my gosh, it went up insane. This has got to be I'm like what did Elon say about it? This is one of the dog coins. Forecast. What happened here? Bam. 183% in a day. That's glorious. Anyway, let's go look at a 4 hour chart. Wow. Will it continue? I don't know. Massive volume came in. Definitely, you never know. I'm not sure what's up with Floki, but one could definitely do a fib on this one and watch it on like shorter time frames and such, and see if it's gonna continue. I mean, bam, that's amazing. Look at that, boom. Whew. That's one of the secret blockchain education indicators. As you can see right there, it showed it was getting ready to pump. Bam, that's insane. Still going. It's decreasing. You can see it here on the directional index. It's beginning to chill a little bit. Anyway, guys, watch that one for a retrace. Maybe able to keep going. I have no idea why it pumped like that. How about SHIB? What did SHIB do? SHIB versus USDT. On Binance. Nice move on SHIB. It caught some of this. I think when this pump started, it was kind of challenging at 314 after getting above the 200, and bam, made a nice move. 45-minute chart, looking good, cooling off. It'll probably keep most of that. And if I was to fib that, just like in recent time here, yeah, let's get some for a 382 bounce or something like that. We'll see. SHIB versus USDT could definitely be back in the game. Anyway, now for some news. Sorry, that was so long. This is just a very exciting day. It's nice to see things break towards the positive. Here's some interesting stuff, okay? And we'll rock through this real quick, but here's one. Whatever your political bias is, this is just, to me, news. U.S. destroyed West Europe's competitive advantage and gifted it to China. European industries that depend on affordable gas, that had depended on affordable gas from Russia, will not relocate to the U.S. but to China. So basically, laying the Chinese part of the gas pipeline from Russia through the desert to Xinjiang. So basically, if you can bear with me, the plan was wipe out Nord Stream, do all this nonsense, deindustrialize Germany, especially bring that manufacturing to the U.S. Well, in a twist of fate, especially as somebody put here, people who live in glass houses should not blow up their allies' pipelines. Do you really think that the German industry and such is going to want to move to the United States, which I think was the kind of the globalist plan, when instead they can simply even easier move to China, especially when the Russia-China pipelines between those two countries will definitely be much better guarded. You know what I'm saying? So you had your plot, and here's the twist of fate that happens. So reminder, natural gas via pipeline is 8 times cheaper than by a liquefied natural gas ship coming from the U.S. to Europe. Only countries that can't get pipelines, only countries that cannot get pipeline gas pay for shipping of LNG. Makes sense. The USA really screwed Europe when it blew up Nord Stream. So basically, German industry moves to China. You got gas pipeline already being made. Boom. Hopefully they can just fix Nord Stream, because there's very old factories in Germany that I don't think really want to leave the country. But then again, if it's going to be enough of a delay in gas, life's cheaper in China. Globalists' plan really, really screwed up big time. And so there you go. You can see they're laying the Chinese part of the gas pipeline from Russia through the desert to Xinjiang. Look at that. And that's real easy to lay there. Just make a little, I bet that's easier than maintaining one under the ocean, and probably easier to guard. And like I mentioned here in a comment, I said, get ready for the EU BRICS, or I coined the term and I made the hashtag Euro-BRIC nations. That's what happened. It didn't work. Brandon, your idea was so stupid. You and those 3 other morons. You've all seen Hirsch's article. We know who done it. We know who did it. And you know what? I think we very well, just more so than we may realize, have seen the America's economy kind of bricked on that one. That was a bad move. That was a bad move. I did, you know. Anyway, another train derailment. Crews on the scene in Van Buren Township after train derails. At least 6 cars. Not sure if these were all that terrible, but come on, man. You can't tell me these many trains were just crashing for no reason. Anyway, I don't know if this was hazard material. Some say it was. I hear this is outside of Detroit. Yeah, Van Buren, Michigan. I've heard it's not too far from Detroit. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully there's nothing nasty in these things. Down the road in Tucson from here, we had a truck fall over, but there's some nasty stuff in it, but it's not some great big environmental disaster. Keanu Reeves, criticism of crypto is only going to make it better. So John Wick himself has a new movie coming out. I think it's out next month, John Wick 4. I know I'll be there to see it. He mentioned in a recent interview with Wired to promote his new film, John Wick 4, Reeves said, I think the principle, the ideas behind an independent currency are amazing. Adding that to poo-poo crypto or the volatility of cryptocurrency is only going to make it better in terms of how it gets safeguarded. While conceding that it's cool, like, look what the cute machines can make, Reeves added that he's concerned about the cryptocurrency behind it that's looking to control those things. Anyway, that was more towards NFTs, that last line. But anyway, you know, the more crap they throw at crypto, the more powerful it becomes. And if you got John Wick on your side, well, let's face it, you've already won. Anyway, so here's a good human being, and now we'll contrast that with a very bad human being. Okay, YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki is stepping down. And I only mention this, she says, so she can focus on, you know, human things like, you know, whatever, bunch of crap. These reptilian people don't ever do anything that's not ritualistic or calculated or for some reason. So I'm wondering, here's Craig's prophecy. YouTube is the next one to get hit with some kind of like YouTube papers or a Hirsch article or something, because this, you know, reptilian humanoid definitely did not leave because she wants to spend time with her family. Reptiles don't have emotions. What a bunch of crap. Anyway, guys, with that said, where'd that thing go? There you go. Well, that's all I got. Sorry this was so long, so winded, but really I'm very excited. It's nice to see this powerful break for Bitcoin. And I will say that really, just for all the just wait for that rug pull people and whatever and all this crap, all this, because if you're a crypto person, I'm sure you hear just plenty of people's bullshit, you know. Anyway, but right here, 314 moving average. S&P 500 could not quite get above it. Let's do like that. Let's do this chart like this. Let's do it. Let's do over under like that. Down here, let's maximize this here. There we go. I'm gonna fire up the DXY. I'm sorry, the SPX right here. Look at that. This is glorious. There they are together. Bitcoin and the SPX. Top is Bitcoin, bottom is SPX. Bitcoin broke that daily 314 moving average. Usually you would expect it to need the S&P 500 to have done that, but it did it anyway. Did Bitcoin just lead the way for, even though many haters, many people whose lives are just an empty pit of mediocrity and sadness, they just don't believe that this, you know, upwards channel could exist breaking out of this long-term, you know, downtrend. I know it's hard to be a sad person, but you know what? Good things happen. And this just might very well have been one here on the S&P 500. If this really happens, it's a glorious thing. If Bitcoin led the way for this 314 crash break, I'm just saying, if the S&P 500 breaks that 314 moving average and finds support, Bitcoin isn't, I'm going to say is just get some. Get your dollar cost averaging going. Get some, have some, because it's going to be crazy. Anyway, with that said, sorry, I'll do better tomorrow. We'll cover more coins better. I'll have them already pulled up and charted out. We'll see what we can do to make money tomorrow. Remember, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, you punch a disgusting old globalist hag and nuts, ovaries, whatever those reptilians have. You did it. I'm glad you believe in the future of humanity. Thanks for being a Bitcoin truth seeker. We'll save the world. This is the first peaceful revolution on a global scale. Amen. And it just broke the 314 moving average on the daily. Yeah.